My clients could be saving tens of thousands of dollars at the time. It's your money first, right?
Keep more of what you earn, but you have to learn how to do that and not run from it. Beyond tax strategy.
The information in the book can, like, literally, it's going to be changing people's lives.
What's up, everyone? I want to welcome you to this recording. We've decided to discuss an amazing accomplishment and effort that Jay has created and put out into the world. And it is his book that he wrote, Beyond Tax Strategy. So today we're going to talk about this book. We're launching this book. We're going to find out what creative genius, where it all came from and how it's going to help a lot of people. And we just want to make sure it can get out into the world and into the hands of the people that need it. So what's up, Jay? Beyond
What's
Tax
going on,
Strategy.
Shauna? What's happening, man? Super excited to be here and to be talking about this book. Um, just, just excited about it. Excited about how the information in the book can, like, literally, it's going to be changing people's lives. And so, man, I'm just super excited, man.
All right. So I know your story, but we're going to start from the beginning of a little bit of your journey. Give us let's say, a 4-minute
Just
breakdown.
you want a quick breakdown.
Take us
Like, how'd
back.
I get here?
What
For sure.
pulled you into the world of taxes and financial strategy, just so that everyone that is new to you can kind of understand where it all started.
Man, this is great. So, as far as how did I get involved with like accounting, taxes, CPA work, and it all started with, a recommendation from my mother. I told my mom back when I was like high school senior, I said, I don't want to be a doctor anymore. She says, well, why don't you just be an accountant? I was like, be an accountant to do what? She says, well, and she just kind of gave me an understanding of what an accountant is. And I says, I'm going to be an accountant. And so, I decided to be a CPA, passed the CPA exam, I think in 1999. I got licensed in like 2003. And it's been a really amazing journey. And so as a traditional accountant, CPA, what I discovered is that I could not give my clients any information about how they could lessen their taxes. They were using me for their tax filing. Sometimes they could have been using me in our firm for bookkeeping. But at the end of the year, they would always ask this question: is there anything else I can do? And the only thing I can say was, well, just spend more money, or, that's it. And I really got tired of saying that. And then I started to hear this word called tax planning. I was like, what is that? It sounded scary to me at the time because the word plan was in it. So like when you think about plan, it's like
It's heavy.
business plan. Oh my goodness, I got to sit down. It's going to take hours and hours, days, weeks to come up with some tax plan. And I was really afraid until I got some coaching. I invested into a coach, and the coach just started showing how simple it was. And I was like, oh my goodness, my clients could be saving tens of thousands of dollars at the time. And I just said, you know what? I'm gonna start offering this service. I'm gonna start helping people. And pretty much it just got to the point where I just was like, hey, let me just do this. And I started a lot of the strategies doing it myself. I said, well, how does this work? And so I would do it myself. I do it for me. Oh, let me convert my business to an S corp. Oh, let me, set up a medical reimbursement arrangement. Let me hire my kids. Let me do an accountable plan. Let me, make sure I do the home office right. Let me travel right. Let me, do the Augusta rule. I started doing all the things, and I was like, oh my goodness, I could easily help my clients do this. And so that's pretty much where it started. And it's been several years now that we've been helping clients save tens of thousands, millions of dollars in taxes. And today we're really going to discuss really how it all starts, man, with Beyond Tax Strategy.
Yeah, so boom, right there, Beyond Tax Strategy. The title hints at something bigger. Beyond means it's not here, it's there. So
Mhm.
talk to us about what you're hinting on or how the book kind of references this beyond concept, because taxes is one thing, but you titled the book Beyond Tax Strategy.
Yeah. So it's hidden in the book, but it's also on the front page. So Beyond is an acronym, and the acronym is being entrepreneurial yields opportunity, not danger. So when I decided to write this book, it was after me and you came together, and we had been talking about, we started our business Beyond Freedom Financial. And I said, I want to write this book. And I want it to be that when people read it, it felt simple. And it feels like I can understand taxes now. It's not an implementation book. It's a way for someone who's a novice to say, okay, wow, I didn't know the tax code was like that. But what's more? Here's what's more about the Beyond. It's not just about tax strategy, right? Because I wish I could tell you that, business is about tax strategy, because it's not about tax strategy. Business is about making money, right? So if you start a business and you don't have the intention to make money, then tax strategy is not going to work. If you start a business and you're not seeing beyond your current circumstances, it's going to be hard to do it. A lot of times business owners are people who start businesses, and I'll title those folks maybe the freelancers, the independent contractors, the people who are really just kind of putting their toe in the water. A lot of times they're focused on, man, I need to pay my bills today. When you got to think beyond that, right? Because if you don't think beyond to find what's my vision about where I'm going, what's my dream about what I want to bring to the world, then I'm probably going to stay stuck in that cycle of, which is pay the bills, do work. And year after year, I'm pretty much making the same thing, if not just maybe a little bit more. And so when I wrote the book, I said, you know what? There's got to be a way for these types of business owners, entrepreneurs, and my coach says wannabes, folks that want to be a business owner, to pretty much get a jump start into business and into tax strategy in a way that you're just like, okay, now I do understand some stuff about taxes. Now let me get into this entrepreneur game. And so the Beyond Tax Strategy is really an introduction into taxes and business and entrepreneurship all at the same time.
That's so good. I'm the way you've put all this together is definitely not common. When people say taxes and the traditional tax, it gives people the heebie-jeebies. They think about their money leaving. And I think what you've done in this book and what we try to do with our clients is go beyond that. Like, no, you want to strategize your life and the way you live if you're about growing wealth. Because I love the way one of your taglines is, correct me, keep more of what you earn,
Yeah, that's it.
like you work so hard. Don't get the heebie-jeebies when you think of taxes. Don't let them take it. Like, keep more of what you earn, but you have to learn how to do that and not run from it. So with that in mind, what is the most common myth about taxes that you wanted to dismantle in this book?
Well, one of the myths that a lot of times people have about taxes is that you just should pay the government. Like it's the government. Man, this is the government's money. I might as well just go ahead and give it to them now. It's not. It's your money first, right? So, and that's the beauty about being an entrepreneur business owner, is that you get an opportunity to do everything you want with the money first. Unlike when you're a W-2 employee, you don't get that opportunity. They take the FICA out. They take the federal out. They take your state out. They're just taking and taking and taking, and you get what is left over. So the biggest shift that people have to make is that it's actually better to be an entrepreneur because you get 100% of every dollar that you make, even if you only have one client, right? So we have clients that have one client that may pay them $250,000. Now they're technically like an independent contractor, but they still get to pull the whole $250,000 in, do all the stuff in their business first to see what's left over, to see if there's something I need to pay, uncle, right? And the way that we work with our clients is that we only want to pay uncle if you should pay uncle, right? And we want to make that as, the least amount as possible. And it's not hard to do. Most people think, this is another myth, most people think the IRS tax code is hard to understand, when technically it's really written for anybody who can read. If you can read, if you can read at a decent level, you can understand taxes,
Yeah.
especially the tax forms. All tax forms, literally, I walked through this with a client just last week. They had questions about a deduction. And so I just walked them through the actual tax form that's in their tax return and explained it line by line, not just showing up to explain it to them. I just took them to the tax form. And when you read the tax form, a lot of times people are afraid that they don't understand it. When technically, if you just read it a little bit slower, like, oh, that makes sense. And that's exactly what he said. He says, oh, that makes sense. But most people think that it's hard to understand. And so they want to automatically default to people like us, which is fine. Like, you can ask us, but it's not hard to understand. The tax code is set up so that when you do the proper things, right? And I'm going to give everybody a definition today. And this definition is not in the book. It's actually a part of our tax game masterclass that we created. And it's the surefire way that if you want to make a deduction on your taxes, all you have to do is remember this. You have the scenario, the right scenario, and you take the intention behind making money equals a deduction. So scenario plus intention equals deduction. That right there, my friend, could save you tens of thousands of dollars just by implementing that.
That's good. So good. I want to give you some props here because you said reading the tax code and these tax forms is easy. Okay. I just want for the listeners to understand you are highly intellectual and specialized and expert in these things to the point where it does take someone like you to make it easy. So don't
Yeah,
underestimate that value. And like you said, people kind of default to us, but I think what you said is important. It's find that person. One, try it yourself if you have the acumen or the patience, but if not, definitely use someone like us to be that translator. And I think the message is don't be scared. It's not that hard. It was written for you. You just have to take it up. But when I'm sure like reading a tax code is easy, people are gonna be like, what? I'm like, this guy is smart, but it's not impossible. Okay, so my next question is, many people think tax strategy is only for the wealthy. We have clients that run the gamut, ultra wealthy down to starter uppers. So
yeah.
help people listening that decided to stumbled upon us or someone that's trying to figure out where they fit. How would you answer that objection to tax strategy?
Man, most people that are wealthy today, they weren't wealthy before they became wealthy.
Start as someone.
And so what everyone has to understand is that before we even can talk about taxes, right? Like it wasn't written for wealthy people. Quote unquote, if you watch the news, TV, blah, 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 catch the news reports, what you'll find is that the wealthy tend to use these types of things. It's just that anybody can use it. It doesn't say that, well, you know what, if you're not making a certain amount of money, you can't go and buy real estate and use real estate as a write-off to offset your W-2 income, right? Because you can absolutely do that. It doesn't say that just because you have a very small business, maybe you don't even have an LLC, and you go out and start a business, make some money, it doesn't mean you can't make all the write-offs. It just means that, okay, if the wealthy are using it, then how can I use it? How can I make the tax code my friend? And when you make the tax code your friend, all you do is, okay, how does the wealthy use it? You want to ask that question. How are the wealthy using the tax code so that they, one, put millions, sometimes billions of dollars back into their pocket? But for the average person, let's just say 10,000. If you could put $10,000 back in your pocket that Uncle Sam took last year, then how do I use the code? First thing is you have to do what the IRS tax code says you have to do, which is you have to be using a vehicle that they recognize as something that could get you a benefit. So The first vehicle that we tend to work with people on is business. That's a vehicle. Business is a vehicle. And because when you have a business, you can write off everything that is reasonable, normal, ordinary, and necessary for your type of business, right? So anything that's normal necessarily is not super outlandish, you can write everything off. So that's the first vehicle. But then there's other vehicles. Then there's the real estate vehicle. A lot of people use the real estate vehicle, especially the wealthy use everything, right? So, but if you're online, you may have heard how a lot of times wealthy don't pay any taxes, and usually real estate is one of the hedges that they use to like wipe out all their taxes. How do they do that? They buy properties. They buy a lot of it, and they use. I'm not going to get deep. I'm just going to share with you what they use in order to offset their taxes. They use something called depreciation. Depreciation is what we call magic money. And I shared with somebody just recently, they were talking about buying a car. When you buy a car and it's for business and you do it the right way, you could potentially write off 100% of the car. So I'm talking to the client, writing off a car, say $60,000. I said, well, think of it like this. You got a $60,000 car that you go buy, and you get finance. So you get an outside finance company to finance the car. Say they finance $50,000. So you got a $50,000 loan. You didn't even use all your money. Then you bought it the right way. You did what you had to do in business, and then the IRS gave you a $60,000 deduction. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. What about? Somebody else paid cash for the car. I don't even have to pay cash up front for the car. And the IRS is going to give me back the money on my taxes. That's exactly how it works. You don't have to be wealthy to utilize these strategies. What you have to be is willing. You write that word down. You write down willing. I am willing to do, well, first to learn. Got to learn it. Can't do it before you learn it. I'm willing to learn it so I can do it, so I can ultimately put money back into my pocket. And just that one strategy could save a business owner like 10 grand, maybe 20, depending on how much, that particular vehicle costs. But you can act like the wealthy just by doing the things that the wealthy do.
That's so good. And it's not complicated because people go and buy cars all the time. But how many times
Obviously, they already know how to buy cars.
I
So
already know how to buy a car, but how do you get that tax advantage? Like, how do you make it a tax advantage purchase? And that's what the wealthy do. They're in tune to things. Some people, unfortunately, are very in tune to things that aren't making money, that aren't making the wealth. It's just the liabilities, it's the things that leak the money versus grow the money. And unfortunately, that's what makes the difference. Like you said, wealthy people weren't always wealthy. Even if the money was handed down to them, there's a potential to either lose it, or
right,
wherever that money came from, they had to build something and be smart with it.
right.
And that's why I love resources like your book that's really hopefully going to bless people and change perspective. So that is a good segue into one of my last questions is for someone listening and feeling behind or overwhelmed, where, besides reading your book, is a good first step that doesn't need a finance degree?
Where is a good step that doesn't? Wow,
Someone's
that's a good
behind, they're
question.
overwhelmed, they're like, is this real? Is this really for me? So I said, besides reading your book.
Yes, you definitely want to read the book because
Yeah.
that's going to be fast. You can get that on Amazon. We actually work with business owners and people just like you who are looking to learn, to understand, to grow, to figure out, well, what is my next step? And we've been doing something in actual weekly sessions. It hasn't been weekly lately, but we've been doing the Tax Game Masterclass. We've recently made some updates to it, and we're going to be launching the new version of that very soon, where we're going to do the Tax Game Masterclass. It's going to be live, right? And you should be able to find the link to that particular masterclass somewhere in this video link below. So you want to come and register for the Tax Game Masterclass. Why do you want to register for that? Because if you're serious and not curious about really learning how to take back what Uncle Sam is taking, and if you're a little bit overwhelmed and just want to get more organized with your finances, especially if you started a business already, then you want to register for the the free tax game masterclass. When you register for it, we're going to walk you through in that live masterclass how all of this works. We're going to share with you our system, the way we do it, and how we get the results we get for our clients when we're saving clients as much as, say, $5,000 in taxes, all the way up to hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes. So you don't have to be a big business owner in order to really benefit from this. If you just come to the class and you're a W-2 worker, you're starting a business, it's just going to show you and teach you how you can start leveraging the tax code so that potentially you can start keeping more of what you earn. So definitely register for that, because that's going to be a great resource to help you to start really moving to the next level.
That's so good. So, is there anything else that you want to leave our listeners with as it relates to, I mean, that was a great segue. I wasn't even thinking about that one, but that's how partnerships work. Like, awesome. Because we've been putting a lot of work into that, trying to get the information developed and out to the people, because the unfortunate thing is we come in contact with a lot of people that have been led the wrong way. And I think earlier this week, or I don't know when it was, but it was another one of those things. I was like talking to someone, I was like, man, Jay, they got her all messed up. Like,
Yeah.
there are a lot of people out there that don't know what they're advising clients to do, and that trust is put on them, on the CPAs or the EAs, and then they come to us and it's like a mess, and we have to get the information out because we want to help as many people as we possibly can. So is there anything else you want to leave before we leave our listeners with, before we end this amazing kind of launch intro to go get this book, because it's one of the first great steps, or maybe not the first? You could be in the game, you could be in these strategies and still benefit from this book. So is there anything that you want to end with before we kind of say see you later or bye for now?
Yeah, man, I do. I want to share a story. And I think this story is going to hit home for someone who's been in business for a while. Recently, we were speaking with, someone about their taxes. And in speaking with the person about their taxes, they let us know, hey, man, I've been doing my taxes with H&R Block for the past 10 years. And it's like, okay, H&R Block, great. And so they let us know kind of like what their business was about. This person had a therapy business. It wasn't a big business. And they were doing the stuff. They had some accounting. They were writing off all the expenses. And at the bottom line, what they were paying was about $80,000 a year, right? So they were paying $80,000. I said, well, how long you been doing it? He says, man, my bill typically is around that amount, and it's been like that for the past 10 years. So I'm on the phone with this person, and they're telling me that they've been basically paying about $80,000 in taxes for the past 10 years, and they really want to know what they can do. See, here's what's interesting. This particular business owner had not made the decision that he was going to change. And because he hadn't made the decision that he was going to change, when we shared the information with him of how we can help him, it was almost disbelief. It was almost like, wait a second, you telling me, which we told him that we could save him at least $50,000. And it was almost like, no way, there's no way you can do this for me. H&R Block is a reputable firm. They've got thousands of offices everywhere. They would have told me if I was doing something wrong. So part of like understanding the tax game is understanding that you must change how you think about taxes, because with the same mindset, you won't get the savings. So what happened to this business owner? That business owner continued to pay taxes, right? So 10 years, overpaid by $500,000. That was out of his mouth. That he basically had been paying that every year and every year. He'd been in business for 30 years. So his money never got a chance to expand his business. His money never got a chance to compound and grow for him. His money never got a chance to do what it could have done had he understood, or had he realized that he needed to change his perspective about taxes. So if you're a seasoned business owner, if you're a new business owner, if you want to be a business owner, Your main focus right now is, man, I got to change how I see taxes. Without that change, I can guarantee you the strategies won't work. I can guarantee you you won't implement the strategy or you won't do them because you'll still be in the same mindset thinking that this is the government's money, and it's not. It's your money. So don't be like that business owner and know that they should be doing something and not do it. Make today the day where you say, I am shifting to the new version of me where I understand and I'm going to learn as much as I need to learn so that I can legally avoid as much taxes as possible so that I can grow my life, my business, and expand my legacy.
That's so good. So good. Well, thank you. This has been amazing. What a blessing. And hopefully people listen and take you up on that challenge because it's important. Like you can't put the blinders on. And like I said earlier, it's the trust that we, just because we're not told, there's the trust. H&R Block is everywhere. So they must know what they're doing. And it's like, they do. They're just not tax strategists. Their goal is to get your taxes filed, not to tell you how not to pay. They get paid
That's
either
right.
way.
That's right.
They don't care. So,
That's right.
anyway, awesome. So, let's get this information, this recording, this book out into the hands, and so much more, including the masterclass and so much more what we have in the pipeline. And we'll see you
All
again
right.
soon.
See you later. Thank you.